No matter how cynical you are about the media, and you ought to be pretty cynical, it may not have occurred to you that they're literally for sale. The national news media can be bought. Give them enough money and they will cover you favorably. And then they will attack anyone who disagrees with you. But that is of course true.
I want to talk about how Tucker's about to go on the attack. Because Politico, which I have no use for either, said he was lying about offshore wind.
And the stories around FTX, the crypto scam, and Pfizer show that very clearly. So if you ask journalists about this, usually they seem, well, ashamed.
This is fun to watch.
Because that's prostitution, not journalism.
Prostitution, not journalism. Well, let me tell you, he should know. This is News Corp's own SEC filing. That's the company that owns Fox News. News Corp is acquiring OPIS for $1.15 billion in a cash transaction, subject to customary adjustments, and also expect to receive an estimated tax benefit of $180 billion as part of the transaction. What is Opus, you might ask? Well, according to the SEC filing, founded in 1977, Opus today is a global industry standard and benchmark and reference pricing and news and analytics for oil, natural gas liquids, and biofuel industries. I'll be sure to leave a link to the SEC filing in the description. You should check it out, because Tucker won't tell you. He says that Politico are prostituting themselves. Well, let's all watch Tucker now sell that ass.
But Politico, which is a left-wing political blog in Washington, is not ashamed at all.
Yeah, that's because they're actually a right-wing organization whose owner once tweeted, "Thank God for President Donald Trump."
If you send Politico enough money, they will run your ads and then publish stories attacking anyone who criticizes you without disclosing their conflict of interest at any point.
Did Tucker disclose to you that his company owns a massive oil and gas concern?
Now, they've been doing this for quite some time. It's an open secret in Washington. They're not the only ones who do it. But we just noticed because they attacked us. Just the other day, they wrote a piece called "Why Whale Deaths Are Dividing Environmentalists and Firing Up Tucker Carlson." As if you have to be some kind of right-winger to care about the unexplained deaths of the biggest mammals on Earth.
Tucker doesn't give a damn about the whales, and if you think he does, keep watching. You might be surprised. If he actually wanted to know, he could have called multiple agencies or just watched ABC News.
Well, sorry, yeah, several local environmental groups came together today on the beach and asked President Biden for an investigation into these whale deaths, questioning if offshore wind development is to blame.
Lots of whales die. It's fair to ask why. But shut up, says Politico. We have no idea why a dozen whales just turned up dead on the beaches of New Jersey. Does it have anything to do with the construction of wind turbines off the coast? That's speculation, Politico reports.
But he's not going to do that. That's not where his biscuit is buttered.
A spokesperson for the Federal Bureau of Ocean Energy Management noted there are currently no wind farms operating or under construction off the coast of New York or New Jersey.
Probably climate change. So the story was ridiculous, but what we didn't get at first was that Politico was paid to run it. Politico is taking a lot of money from the corporations who manufacture and profit from commercial wind turbines.
So how much did you tell your viewers that Rupert Murdoch is making off his oil and gas? Asking for a friend.
Politico's been running this ad on behalf of the Danish wind power company Ørsted. It appears on Politico's website. It looks like a news article, but it's not. Oh, it's an ad. You wouldn't know. You're not supposed to know. It's supposed to fool you. Here's the headline. Offshore wind, the green energy panacea with some hurdles. Oh, what? Just a few, like killing all the whales. No problem, just a little hurdle.
Talk about looking like news, but it's actually meant to fool you. Get bent, you oil company lapdog lackey.
A spokesperson for the Federal Bureau of Ocean Energy Management noted there are currently no wind farms operating or under construction off the coast of New York or New Jersey.
Okay, here's what's actually happening.
We spoke to a PhD candidate studying whales in New Jersey who says a rise in deaths could be attributed to a rise in population.
It is concerning, especially that many of these whales have shown signs of vessel strike. But I can tell you that it does make sense because it corresponds to an increase in humpback whales. that we have seen over about the last decade.
That's how the fake article begins. Quote, the EU will have to dramatically boost its production of renewable energy to meet its Green Deal targets. Enter offshore wind. That's the news story on Politico. They're prostitutes.
That's a news story on Fox News. They are whores.
And they're not even ashamed.
And Tucker Carlson just admitted that he's a fucking whore.
So we reached out to them today and asked, well, why didn't you disclose the fact that you're a hooker? Sorry, that you're taking money from offshore wind turbine manufacturers in your article about offshore wind turbines.
We reached out to Tucker Carlson and asked him why he was whoring himself out to an oil company that's owned by his boss, Rupert Murdoch, and we got no answer.
They didn't want to answer that question. Oh, shut up.
Now, according to NOAA, an unusual mortality event for humpback whales up and down the East Coast has been going on since 2016.
Gosh, it's been happening since 2016. I wonder why he hasn't, until now, been covering this massive whale genocide. Oh, because Rupert didn't buy the oil companies until December. Got it.
And about half of the whales that have washed up have been necropsied. A spokesperson from NOAA said today, quote, to date, no humpback whale mortality has been attributed to offshore wind activities. Reporting live in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6, Action News.
Damn it! So close to admitting that he's a whore. But, you know, newborn babies just aren't self-aware. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal. Y'all take it easy.